The golden sunlight gently spreads on the white sand beach of Bora Bora Island, a tropical paradise hidden in the middle of the turquoise ocean. The sound of the waves lapping at the loungers covered with pristine white towels, creating a scene so poetic that it seems like it only exists in romantic movies. But there, amidst all that magnificent beauty, the focus belongs to a graceful woman stepping out of the villa by the sea, Caitriona Balfe, now Mrs. Hewen. After a secret wedding that surprised the world, she wears a simple but sophisticated pearl-white bikini, highlighting her slim figure, healthy tanned skin and the aura of a woman at the peak of happiness. Her dark brown hair is loosely tied up, revealing her delicate neck and her eyes that are radiant like never before. Not far away, Sam Hewen, the man who had officially become her husband a week ago, was quietly observing his wife from the wooden bar. He did not take his eyes off her, as if this moment was the greatest reward of his life. Sam was wearing navy blue swimming trunks, his body toned, his skin perfectly tanned after a few days of swimming. They had chosen Bora Bora as their honeymoon destination, not for the luxury, but for the privacy. After years of living in the spotlight and being watched curiously by the public, they could finally live a week that belonged only to them. No interviews, no cameras, no scripts. Caitriona walked over to the lounge chair next to the infinity pool. Sam had prepared a glass of fresh coconut water with a small pink umbrella that she had once called silly but cute. She sat down, stretching her arms in a seductive dance. Sam smiled, stepped closer, and gently placed a kiss on her forehead. "You know," he said, his voice deep, "I've been dreaming about this day since 2014. She raised her head, her eyes as deep as the ocean, and now, it's real. They both laughed, no words needed. All the years together, from the first scene in Outlander to the interviews, the tours, the difficult moments, all of it was now rewarded with one simple thing: being together, without pretense. The day passed in a rare calm. After sunbathing and sharing a lunch of grilled fresh tuna and mango salad, they decided to rent a double kayak to explore the coral reefs around the island. Caitriona, despite her reputation for elegance, had an unexpected adventurous spirit. She laughed as Sam struggled to keep her balance in the water, occasionally being knocked over by a wave that tilted the kayak to one side. They went snorkeling together, holding hands and swimming in the crystal-clear water. At the bottom of the ocean, all sounds were silent, leaving only the beating of their hearts and the trusting grip of their hands. When they returned, both were exhausted in happiness. Sam put a towel on his wife, gently rubbing her shoulders to avoid catching a cold. Caitriona leaned her head on his shoulder and said softly, "You know, I used to think love was a luxury for someone who lived between filming schedules, stage wings, and endless flights." He held her hand tightly, "But then I proved you wrong." That evening, their beachfront villa was set up for a candlelit dinner, right on the wooden bridge that led out to the sea. Soft jazz music played, the waves lapping gently at their feet. Caitriona wore a white maxi dress, her hair loose and flowing in the wind. Sam wore a silk shirt, the top two buttons undone, revealing a tanned chest. They clinked glasses of wine, their eyes locked as if time had never passed. "Did you ever think," Caitriona tilted her head, "that one day we would really be together? No more acting, no more acting?" Sam looked at her, his eyes sparkling like the stars at night. "I always believed that. But I was never sure if you were willing to give up everything for it." She nodded, softly. "And now I know. There is nothing more precious than waking up every morning and seeing you by my side." Sam stood up, holding out her hand. "Wanna dance, honey?" She placed her hand in his. They glided lightly across the wooden floor, between the sea and the sky and the stars. No background music could be more beautiful than Caitriona's soft laughter and Sam's synchronized heartbeat. The next day, a few photos taken by the lucky paparazzi from afar began to spread on social media. Caitriona in a white bikini, holding hands with Sam in the golden sunlight, radiant and youthful like a newlywed couple. Fans went crazy, social media was flooded with congratulations. The hashtag #SamKate honeymoon climbed to the top of the trending list in a few hours. One fan wrote, "I've never seen Caitriona so beautiful. Not only is she sexy, but she also exudes peace and happiness. Like she's finally found her place." Another commented, "Sam Heughan is truly the luckiest man in the world. And Caitriona, in that bikini, is a symbol of freedom, maturity and fulfillment." But to them, those words were just a distant echo. In that private moment in a strange land, they were not stars, not celebrities. They were just Sam and Kate, two people in love, living true to themselves. At the end of their honeymoon, as the sun set for the last time on the horizon, Caitriona stood silently by the sea, her hand clasped tightly around Sam's. "I'm afraid, when I come back, everything will be different," she said softly. Sam squeezed her hand gently. "Nothing can change what I feel, Kate. No paparazzi, no script, no stage. You're the only thing I'm sure of." She turned to look at him, her eyes brimming with tears, not from sadness, but from emotion. "Thank you, for waiting for me all these years." Sam bowed his head and kissed her lips. A kiss that no longer held any hesitation or concealment. Against the pale purple sky, amid the last sound of the waves, it was the most sacred promise two souls had ever made to each other. The plane landed at Edinburgh Airport on a light grey afternoon, with a chilly Scottish wind. Sam held Caitriona's hand tightly as they walked out of the VIP area. Neither of them said anything, but they both knew. The dream vacation was over, and reality awaited. But there was one thing that was different. They were no longer alone. As soon as they stepped into the airport lobby, a small group of fans were waiting, holding flowers and handwritten signs. "Welcome back, Mr. and Mrs. Heughan." A young boy handed Caitriona a bouquet of white tulips, her favorite flower, and said shyly, "You are the most beautiful princess I have ever seen." She laughed, bent down to hug the boy, her eyes brimming with tears. Sam tilted her head and whispered, "Looks like we can't hide forever." Caitriona smiled, not at all embarrassed. "It's time to show the world that I belong to you." Back at their cozy suburban home, they hung their newly printed wedding photo, taken at sunset in Bora Bora, right above the fireplace. They sat together, hand in hand, in the gentle silence of a home that had waited so long to be called family. Quote,